Well, let's get now to that breaking story. A Warren police officer facing charges of using excessive force against an inmate. The officer is Matthew Rodriguez, a 14-year veteran of the Warren Police Department, and he just faced a judge to be arraigned on a serious crime. A few minutes ago, the Warren Police Commissioner, Bill Dwyer, released the video showing the inmate getting hit in the head and slammed to the ground. Dwyer says it happened a little before 6 last Tuesday morning at the Warren jail as the officer was processing that man. Two fellow officers can be seen jumping in to stop the attack.
Welcome back to We the People University. We have another update on a video that we previously discussed on this channel back in June. In the earlier video, we witnessed a distressing incident involving a police officer, Matthew Rodriguez, who was at the time employed by the Warren Police Department located in Michigan. In this incident, Officer Rodriguez was seemingly aggressively confronting a 19-year-old young man, seemingly without any provocation from the young man's side. It's important to note that the available footage of this incident, which serves as evidence, lacks audio, but vividly depicts Officer Rodriguez losing his composure and physically attacking the young man.
Well, the commissioner tells 7 Action News that the judge released Officer Rodriguez on a $5,000 personal bond. They will both meet this week to determine the future of the officer's employment. A few minutes ago, the Warren Police Commissioner, Bill Dwyer, released the video showing the inmate getting hit in the head and slammed to the ground. Dwyer says it happened a little before 6 last Tuesday morning at the Warren jail as the officer was processing that man. Two fellow officers can be seen jumping in to stop the attack.
The two officers who later entered the video did not seem to take substantial action to halt the unprovoked assault on Mr. Smith. Instead, they appeared to assist Rodriguez in restraining Mr. Smith. However, it's worth acknowledging, due to one of the officers reporting the incident, it prompted supervisors to launch an internal investigation into the matter. While we cannot determine the content of the conversation in the video, it is evident that the young man's actions did not justify the officer's disproportionate response. Even if the young man had used language that the officer found disrespectful or rude, it is crucial to remember that our First Amendment rights protect our freedom of speech. This protection has been upheld in numerous court rulings, including the 1987 Supreme Court case of Houston v. Hill, which emphasized that the First Amendment safeguards the right of citizens to verbally challenge and criticize law enforcement officers, even if the language used may be offensive. On camera, the police commissioner and the Macomb County prosecutor appear to be committed to ensuring that justice is served.
The reason we are here today is to be transparent and to inform the public that acts of misconduct by members of the Warren Police Department will not be tolerated. 1 minute in length, an unexpected act of misconduct was committed by a Warren police officer.
But this is exactly what the public expects. They expect somebody to get out in front of it, don't cover it up, bring it to the attention, and make sure that they're heard loud and clear. This is unacceptable and not tolerable.
The behaviors and statements I discussed in my book, Living in the World of Tyranny, which I refer to as putting on for the camera, are precisely exemplified here. When the camera shut off and behind closed doors, both the commissioner and prosecutor expressed agreement, stating, and I quote, "He is innocent until proven guilty." Regardless of what the video may depict, unfortunately, such unwavering faith is rarely extended to the general public. While we are all supposed to be considered innocent until proven guilty, it appears that this principle only truly applies when the individual in question is a law enforcement officer. These individuals are tasked with upholding the law, yet in many cases, they either lack knowledge of the law or simply disregard it, openly violating it.
Well, the commissioner tells 7 Action News that the judge released Officer Rodriguez on a $5,000 personal bond. They will both meet this week to determine the future of the officer's employment. Meanwhile, Warren Police said they've started an internal affairs investigation, but the commissioner and the prosecutor both stressed that the officer is considered innocent until proven guilty, no matter what the video shows.
The video footage of the incident ignited a wave of public criticism, leading to authorities launching a more thorough investigation into the matter. Subsequently, the Warren Police Department terminated Rodriguez's employment, and he was subsequently sued by Mr. Jaquan Smith. In addition to these consequences, Rodriguez is now facing a federal felony charge for the deprivation of rights as announced by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Rodriguez, who is now formally employed as a police officer in the Warren, Michigan Police Department, made an appearance in federal court this week in connection with several charges stemming from his violent attack at the Warren Police Department jail earlier this summer. Rodriguez faced arraignment on charges related to violations of civil rights concerning his actions against Mr. Jaquan Smith on June 13. As previously mentioned, the incident was captured by the jail surveillance camera, leading the Department of Justice to assert that he not only employed unreasonable and excessive force, but they also found that he provided inaccurate information regarding the incident in his official report. Initially, Rodriguez was facing misdemeanor charges in Macomb County, but merely viewing the video, it becomes evident to everyone that the assault on Mr. Smith was a brutal act that unquestionably warranted felony charges. Eventually, the local prosecutor finally agreed to dismiss the charges, allowing federal prosecutors to take over the case. Subsequently, a federal grand jury indicted the former officer on Thursday, November 2nd, on 2 counts of willfully depriving a prisoner of his constitutional rights through the use of excessive force and the submission of false information in official documents. If convicted, Rodriguez could face a maximum sentence of up to 30 years in prison. It is disheartening to continue to witness authoritarian behavior from individuals who have sworn to protect the rights and freedoms of this country's citizens. However, it is encouraging to see that those who take the oath but fail to uphold it will be held accountable for their actions.
Well, the commissioner tells 7 Action News that the judge released Officer Rodriguez on a $5,000 personal bond. They will both meet this week to determine the future of the officer's employment. Meanwhile, Warren police said they've started an internal affairs investigation, but the commissioner and the prosecutor both stress that the officer is considered innocent until proven guilty, no matter what the video shows.
Yet again, we have another example of tyrannical behavior by those who were sworn to protect the public. The article to this incident and the video are down below in the description section. If Officer Rodriguez is found guilty, he will face up to 30 years in prison for this barbaric act. And I would also like to say, without the reporting of the officer and the outcry of the public, this too would have been swept under the rug, showing that it takes all of us to make some type of change. Know your rights. Always report the police and always fight back the legal way. With that being said, We the People University, signing off.
In a world shrouded in secrecy, where trust is fragile and justice hangs in the balance, one brave author, Abiyah Israel, has unveiled the truth. Living in the World of Tyranny, a gripping expose by Abiyah Israel, uncovers the hidden stories that have haunted police departments across America. Dive into the heart-pounding pages of a book that pulls no punches, revealing shocking secrets hidden behind the badge. Inside, you'll discover stories of cops fighting cops, police chiefs entangled in unprofessional relationships, and unspoken truths about deaths that were swept under the rug. Abiyah Israel, powerful narrative will leave you on the edge of your seat, unveiling a side of law enforcement you've never seen before. Are you ready to uncover the hidden world of tyranny that's been kept in the shadows for far too long? Readers are calling it a revelation, a wake-up call, and a courageous masterpiece that's long overdue. Living in the World of Tyranny by Abiyah Israel, who is also the driving force behind We the People University, the popular YouTube channel that has been exposing police corruption for over 2 years, is a riveting revelation, a must-read for those who seek the truth. But that's not all. Don't miss out on the book that's making waves across the nation. Get your copy of Living in the World of Tyranny now, and be prepared to have your perspective forever changed.